Tory Lanez just did something no one expected. From inside the walls of a California prison, he released a new song that instantly touched people's hearts across the world. It wasn't a track about the fame, the beefs, or the lifestyle that once surrounded him. This one was different. It was a letter in musical form, a direct message to his 8-year-old son, Peterson. A moment of raw truth from a father serving 10 years in prison, trying to reach his child through the only language he knows best, music. But there's another layer to this track that's impossible to ignore. The beat, the tone, the sample. Tory Lanez chose to build this emotional message on the back of Eminem's classic Mockingbird. And in doing so, he reminded everyone that Eminem's fingerprints are still all over this generation of rap music, even in 2025. That's not just influence. That's legacy. The song opens with Tory's voice soft and filled with pain, speaking directly to Kai. You can hear the emotion cracking through the verses. He's not trying to be slick or overly lyrical. He's not trying to prove anything to critics. He's just trying to speak to his son, who is growing up without his father because of the choices Tory made. The lyrics talk about regret, responsibility, and most of all, love. He tells Kai that he's sorry for not being there, but that everything is going to be okay. He paints a picture of watching his son grow up from behind bars, hoping Kai doesn't forget him, and praying that one day they'll be together again. What makes the song hit even harder is the sample. Tory didn't pick just any beat. He chose one of Eminem's most emotional and timeless records. Mockingbird was Eminem's own letter to his daughter Haley, a powerful, heartbreaking anthem about a father doing his best in a chaotic world. Tory tapping into that same energy shows just how deep the connection goes. It's more than just a musical decision. It's a nod to one of the greatest storytellers in hip-hop history. And it's proof that no matter how far the sound of rap evolves, Eminem's emotional blueprint still shapes the genre's most vulnerable moments. This song isn't about going viral. It's not for club spins or chart positions. It's for one person, Kai. But in the process, it's reached millions. That's the magic of authenticity. When a rapper drops the mask and speaks from the heart, people feel it. Tory's voice in this track doesn't sound like the confident artist we're used to. It sounds like a father broken by distance, trying to hold on to whatever connection he still has with his child. That alone has stopped fans in their tracks. And while the song hits hard emotionally, it also brings up something much deeper about hip-hop's legacy. Tory Lanez was part of a wave of artists who came up in the streaming era, where fast music and flashy moments dominated. But when life got real, he didn't turn to auto-tune heavy club beats or trendy production. He turned to Eminem. He turned to Mockingbird. That says everything. Eminem's influence doesn't always show up in the obvious ways. You won't always hear his rhyme schemes being copied or his flow being mimicked. But you'll see him in the moments when rappers are at their most exposed. When they talk about family, loss, regret, and love. That's where M's DNA still lives in the culture. Mockingbird was released back in 2005, and here we are 20 years later, with one of the most talked about rappers in the game using that very same record to speak to his son. That's not coincidence. That's respect. That's legacy. Even critics who have been hard on Tory had to admit the song is powerful. Fans across social media started sharing clips of the track, with captions like, "I felt this in my soul," and Tory Lanez might be behind bars, but his voice still reaches the world. Others started revisiting Eminem's Mockingbird, saying how crazy it is that a song from 2 decades ago still brings tears to people's eyes and now has a second life through Tory's pain. What's even more interesting is how the younger generation is discovering Mockingbird all over again because of this. Some fans of Tory Lanez had never really listened to Eminem like that, but after hearing this track, they went back, listened to the original, and realized where the inspiration came from. It's like watching a bridge being built between 2 eras of hip-hop. And that bridge is emotion. Real, raw emotion. Tory's legal troubles have been a roller coaster. From being at the top of the game to being convicted and sent away for a decade. It's a fall from grace that still feels surreal. But in this moment, through this song, he's reminding people that he's still human, still a father, still an artist with something to say. And in doing that, he's tapped into something bigger than himself. The power of music to connect, to heal, and to speak when words fail is what built hip-hop in the first place. Before the chains, the tours, the headlines, rap was about telling your truth. Eminem mastered that, and now Tory Lanez is using that same formula to reach out to his son. No cap, no gimmicks. Just a father talking to his child through a beat that already carried the voice of another father 2 decades before. What's wild is that Eminem probably didn't plan for his song to become a template for fathers in pain. But that's the beauty of art. You put your soul into a record, and it lives longer than you think. It becomes something that other people can lean on when they're going through something similar. Tory Lanez might be locked up, but through this track, he's free in a way. Free to speak his truth. Free to send love to his son. Free to be vulnerable without judgment. The world of rap moves fast. One day you're on top, the next you're in headlines for the worst reasons. But what never fades is emotion. When an artist bleeds on the track, people listen. That's why this song matters. That's why Eminem still matters. Because in a world full of distractions, moments like this cut through the noise. Tory Lanez isn't trying to win fans back with this song. He's not chasing approval. He's just being a dad in the only way he can from where he is. And in doing that, he's made one of the most honest records of his career. It's crazy how the full circle works. Eminem made Mockingbird for his daughter. Now Tory uses that same heartbeat to speak to his son. And fans, young and old, are feeling the weight of it. The question was, does Eminem's impact still matter in 2025? The answer is playing loud and clear in the background of Tory's new release. Yes. Yes, it does. This isn't just about Tory. It's about what hip-hop can still do. It can still reach into people's souls. It can still tell stories that matter. It can still carry pain, hope, and love, all in one verse. Tory Lanez reminded us of that, and whether people support him or not, the truth is, this song made people feel something real. And sometimes, that's all that matters.